Hi, folks. I'm Jamie Hiles.
I'm Lydia Judy.
I'm Derek Lemaster, and I liked Choco Tacos
Screen
from
Bloody
Taco
Movies, the
Bell.
podcast. The podcast where we review horror movies. We go over the horror news, and Derek tells us about his love of long begotten food.
That's a missed opportunity for Taco Bell. They really
Choco
messed up right
tacos.
there.
Choco tacos were legit. They used to have
Dude,
Cinnabons too. Remember that?
dude, they were like a drumstick, but in taco form. It was
Taco
beautiful. It was like
John's.
art.
Taco John's used to have like the actual Choco taco. Remember that? It was like a chocolate shell and ice cream.
Mm.
TJ's was where it's at. We used to go there often.
What's your favorite long begotten treat that is no longer available at restaurants? Please tell us in the comments.
Yeah, we'd like to hear them. This is our culinary show, Screen Bloody Movies. So, how are you guys doing tonight? Good?
Fantastic.
I put 2 kids down to bed, so I'm ready for something to drink. You know what I mean? I'm kidding. I don't even drink that much.
Around here.
Right. Yeah, we know your tricks. We know your tricks.
Is that water in your bottle? Yep.
Is that water in your pocket, or are you happy to see me? So, guys, we're going to talk about Adam Green's sequel, the continuing saga of Victor Crowley, Hatchet 2. But first, we got to get into some horror news. All right, the first bit here, guys, is we have Derek. This is right up your alley. Guess it's continuing the Poohniverse because Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 3 has officially been confirmed.
And they have not released 2 officially, right?
No,
They filmed it
or
maybe,
any
but
of those other dumbass movies.
How dare you? How
What are you
dare
guys' thoughts here?
Hey, keep them coming, man. Like,
Derek.
This is off the rails already. This episode is off the rails. I guess we might as well be as crazy as we can be. We are watching Hatchet. Right?
That's true. That's true.
You might get that reference.
Yes, we got that reference. So yeah, that's the thing that's happening. Lydia, do you have any thoughts on that?
Nope.
If you don't have anything nice to say.
Oh man.
Oh my god, that's so funny. So this next bit of horror news is about a movie we've talked about a couple of times, right? So first is this bit. Julianne Hough is joining Maggie Gyllenhaal's The Bride movie. So we've talked about this a couple times throughout this week. It's the movie starring Christian Bale as Frankenstein, Penelope Cruz as the bride. Julianne Hough has now signed on to this project, and it'll be released in October of 2025. So what are you guys' thoughts on this? You guys still excited for this stuff?
Yeah, this sounds like it's gonna rock.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah. What's Julianne Hough been in?
Julianne Hough is Dancing with the Stars. She was a dancer,
Yeah,
and now one of
she was in,
the judges of
Rock
that.
of Ages.
Rock of Ages.
Okay.
Yep, that's one. She's
She
also
was in a
in
movie
the
with.
the Dirty Dancing remake, I think.
I think you're right too. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, I got you. Okay, yeah. Definitely know her
Yeah.
face.
Yeah, she's great, really. So this one, we have an update on the new Fear Street movie. Ooh, Fear Street.
Mm.
So, this one we have a title. It is now called Fear Street Prom Queen, and it will take place in the late '80s. So here's
Nice.
our synopsis. Welcome back to Shadyside. In this installment of the blood-soaked Fear Street franchise, Prom season at Shadyside High is underway, and the school's wolf pack of it girls is busy with its usual sweet and vicious campaigns for the crown. But when a gutsy outsider is unexpectedly nominated to the court, the other girls start mysteriously disappearing. The class of '88 is suddenly in for one hell of a prom night.
Ooh.
Sounds good. Sounds cool, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think?
It's gonna be good.
Uh,
It's just a single movie.
Yes, it seems to be. Matt Palmer is directing it. So, yeah, because if you remember, the first three were supposed to be originally released, like in theaters, each like boom, boom, boom. But then the pandemic happened, so they released them all just straight to Netflix. But yeah, this is a single film. It sounds really cool, I think.
I love those three movies. I'm
yeah,
sad
what to
that
do?
they didn't get their due in the theater, but they're good. I'm excited.
Yeah, I like them. You liked them too, right, Lydia?
Oh yeah, definitely. They were great.
So we have some interesting stuff. Well, this is interesting. We're hearing some really great things about the new Omen movie. It's not quite so much news as people that have seen it, some early releases, have said that it's actually terrifying and has actually scared them. So that excites me. Because it's been a while since we've seen one that, actually freaked us out. And we're all excited to see that, right?
Yeah, give it a shot. It's the worst
we
that
still
could
have to do
happen.
the sequels to that. Apparently, guys, Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey launches with a 100% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. That's obviously review bombed.
Obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty fresh.
It is pretty fresh. But they are saying, the thing that they're saying is it's way funnier and way better than the original, because the first one was too self-serious. They're saying that every review I've seen has said it's definitely an improvement over the first one. So, hey, if they can fix themselves, hey, we'll give it a shot. But
yeah,
man,
that's what we were kind of hoping for, right? Like,
yeah, because that first one was just no bueno, man. That was
like, this could be better.
Yeah, because it could not be terrible.
It couldn't be any worse.
That's true. It would. Yeah. It definitely was one of
them. Rawhead Rex.
No,
I guess it could have been worse.
Perfect.
No, Rawhead. I think I kind of like Rawhead Rex better. It has that cheesy charm to it.
Yeah, I guess I'm remembering the quality that I got to see of Rawhead Rex, and the
quality
it was just so poor.
It was not the best. Yeah.
Lydia, that movie had golden showers. It
did have golden showers. There was a priest getting
all
baptized.
kinds of
everything Derek wants.
Dude, the priest getting baptized.
I can taste the bubbles.
Hilarious. Yeah, that's too great.
No, I can't.
And that wraps up this edition of Horror News. So, guys, Hatchet 2. Adam Green's Hatchet 2. Lydia, is this the first time you've seen Hatchet 2?
Yes.
Yes. So you watched the first one for the podcast, correct?
Yes.
Had you heard of it before? I mean, before, obviously, we started talking about it.
Yeah. When we talked about the first one, I mentioned that I've heard a lot about Hatchet from you, Jamie, and I know that's one of your jam movies that you're super inspired by. So I always kind of was like, oh, I need to watch that, and then we did, and it was something. Yeah, no, it's great. It's super fun. And then so before I watched the second one tonight, I rewatched the first one just so that it was all real fresh. Yes, and like picking up right.
Right
that was
start.
perfect.
Right.
I was like, look at that.
Yeah. Oh,
they even refilmed a very small portion of it.
Yeah, because I probably would have been a little confused, but
yeah, definitely.
It was cool. Yeah.
Derek, this is not your first time seeing Hatchet 2.
No, I own this one. I've seen this movie probably 5 or 6 times. Maybe not as many as you have, but I've seen it quite a bit. Yeah,
Yeah.
Big fan.
Yeah, I
Adam
remember, like I said,
work.
watching the first one when it came out, and then liking it, and then once we got into, our filmmaking journey, and I discovered the Movie Crypt podcast, I went back and rewatched this one. And I mean, full disclosure, those guys are huge inspirations to myself and Derek, for sure. They kind of gave us the strength to keep moving forward with this filmmaking journey, right, Derek?
Yep, for sure.
But when it came to this movie, I had seen it when it came out because I'd seen the first one. But I went back and rewatched it once that, around 10 years ago, 2014. And then have been I've watched it several times since then. It's not quite a yearly watch, but pretty regularly. I kind of rotated in. So it'd been a while since I'd seen it this time. So I gave it so it's obviously not a new watch. I knew all of the kills and all the beats, but it was a fun time. I'm glad we picked it. I enjoyed watching it. So, yeah, let's get into it. Like you said, Lydia, I mean, it starts literally after the first one ends. Like, when we did the first one, that's one of the things we talked about, is you were like, it ends so abruptly. And I was like, well, there's a reason for that, because it literally picks up right there for the next one. And it did, except for when, Mary Beth went into the water, she was a different person and came out as Danielle Harris.
Yeah,
baptized.
Exactly.
Movie magic, man. Movie magic.
Yeah. So there's obviously, that's the big thing to talk about, is there is a big casting overhaul. The original actress did not return, and we got Danielle Harris instead as Mary Beth, which I'm not going to complain about. It's Danielle Harris.
Yeah, and no diss to the original actress, but
no, she's very good. Yeah,
definitely. There was a tick up.
Yeah. I mean, it's Danielle Harris, and
I know. I'm just saying.
What's funny is when I watch this, especially the scenes where she's with Tony Todd, you realize how small Danielle Harris is, and how absolutely tall Tony Todd is. Because when he's dragging her away at the end, it looks like she is a child.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, God dang.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so great.
Me and Jake actually talked about that, because he was like, I don't care. I would be like, getting out of his arms. And I'm like, look at them. She's tiny.
It looks like your dad pulling you in the grocery store after you've been bad.
Yeah.
When you were 5.
So yeah, she's very small and great. She's great in the movie. She's fun. I love her accent and when she gets to be badass eventually. So let's start off with the opening kill. Let's just go through kills and whatever you guys want to talk about next. What do you guys think of the opening kill to good old Jack Cracker? Because first of all, the joke where he hands her the bottle and it's like,
and she's almost ready to drink.
Dude.
Yeah,
I was laughing so hard.
I was too.
Like,
I was like,
I can't look. What's
so funny? It's so
Yeah.
funny because it's like because the joke in the first one is that he drinks his own piss.
He drinks his own piss.
Yeah.
And then we see him drink it. Then he goes
Dude,
in like just.
Thank goodness I watched the first one first, because it was completely by chance. I just was like waiting to watch the movie, and Jake was upstairs, and I was like, I'll just put the first one on while I'm waiting. Dinner's, getting ready and stuff. And so when that happened, it paid off so well for me that I like busted out laughing. And Jake was like, "What?" Because he didn't watch the first one. So that was awesome.
It's so funny. Also, that we see the the girls from the first one, because we get Joel Murray's camcorder. The best joke in that. The best joke is the best joke. Well, there's a couple of great ones. Laura Ortiz's joke is my favorite.
They're terrible.
She's like, Laura
yeah.
Ortiz, when she's like, "Dude, I'm 14," and he's like, "Oh, that's not right." So
that's not right.
And then them together.
What is a hermaphrodite?
Yeah, and she's like, "Well, why don't you say it?
Crap?
We'll say it at the same time." And she repeats it, and she's like, "Ew."
Yeah.
They're the best. I love their characters in the first one so much. I'm glad they brought it back just for that bit. It's so fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
definitely.
the whole opening of this movie is a lot of fun with Cracker Jack and the jokes, and Crackerjack's death is fucking great, right? It's phenomenal. He gets his intestines ripped out and then his head squeezed off by his own intestines. Ah!
I've always wanted to do that, you know what I mean? No? You guys don't know what I'm talking about?
Jake was like, do you think your intestines would like rip before they would be strong enough to do that? I was like, I genuinely don't know.
Yeah, probably, but I also don't think anybody's strong enough to rip through somebody's stomach to do it. So we'll just let it fly because it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I was like, it's probably like a lot of muscle. I don't know.
Yeah. It's a great death. It's a great opening death that sets the tone for the movie for sure.
Definitely set a tone. That's for sure.
We get the tone pretty early. And then we have Tom Holland, guys. Tom Holland sighting is he plays Uncle Bob, the writer-director of Fright Night and Child's Play. That's hilarious. Mm-hmm. Just a friend of Adam Green's, and he's like, sure. Sure.
Love it.
I'll do it.
He's such a normal-looking guy, too. It's he's so believable.
He has one of my favorite lines too when he's like, at
the end, come on, you hatchet motherfucker, or something like that.
No, that's funny too. But when he says when he's talking about Reverend Zombie, and he's like, that's not even his name. It's something Washington. Clive Washington. It fucking cracks me up. It's like, why are you calling Reverend Zombie? His name's Clive Washington.
That's not even his name.
And guys, Tony Todd as Reverend Zombie is fucking phenomenal in this movie.
Perfect casting.
Yeah, he's so funny. He's just so weird and intimidating when he needs to be, but he's also goofy and silly. And like when he's talking to the bald guy and he just goes, for no reason, what the fuck?
You know, the thing that works most about him is, his voice. I just love his voice.
Yeah, it's the best.
And whenever he's talking in that like Cajun accent, and just everything about his character is pretty awesome. But yeah.
So we have Perry Shin returns as Justin, Sean's brother. It's so funny.
Twin brother.
He's great in it.
Identical. He is.
Yeah, his identical twin. He's so funny. He's great in it.
Dude, that was another one that got me. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah. Wait till you watch the third one.
Yeah, exactly. But
I've been holding off for the podcast, for the record. It's not that I don't want to watch them. It's like I'm waiting specifically for us to talk about them.
Oh, you just wait.
But
I'm excited.
There's a great bit with he and Reverend Zombie where he says, when he's like, is Sean okay? And he goes, I don't know. Cracks me up.
I don't know.
It's like, why? Oh, man.
Because he's so manipulative. Like,
oh, yeah.
He is.
Yeah, he's an a-hole. And so, guys, the scene with the... So we get the montage. What do you guys think of the backstory, Lydia? What do you think of the the expansion of Victor Crowley's backstory?
I was trying to remember. Did they talk about that at all in the first one?
We just know about the no, not really. We hear little things, but we get the expansion of Victor Crowley's backstory more in this one. Yeah.
Because for some reason this felt super familiar to me, so I don't know if maybe I've seen this clip.
They talk about the fire and him getting a hatchet in the face in the first movie.
Okay, yeah. Okay,
and how he's haunting the swamps. But now we get the expansion of why Victor Crowley is like he is, because of the curse that his wife put on him, because of the illicit affair.
That was interesting. I'll say it's interesting because I didn't expect that, honestly, with the dad, like, doing what he did. But also, like, I don't know if it's just because I know who that is, but he just seems so sweet.
Yeah,
even though he's, like, kind of, I don't know.
Yeah.
It was an interesting choice for sure.
Yeah, I like the backstory.
How to feel.
Yeah, I like the backstory. I think it's a fun, interesting. It's Adam Green has had this backstory since he was a kid for this character, Victor Crowley. So I like it. I like the like this. He was created kind of in sin, so he kind of never had a chance. And he's not like Victor Crowley isn't inherently evil. He's just cursed to be. So it kind of gives you some sympathy for him, especially when he's young and he's like this deformed creature that people are just picking on. He's kind of tragic, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you kind of side with the monster a little bit, for sure.
Yeah.
But the scene where he's recruiting all the people in the warehouse is fucking so funny to me. There's so many good jokes. First of all, you guys see Lloyd Kaufman there from Troma, the founder of Troma. He's in there.
Nice. As soon as they panned through those men, I was like, those are all somebody. I just know it.
Yeah. Lloyd's in there, and so is several other people. But the whole, just like the way it sets up, is so funny, right? Like everybody leaves as soon as Victor Crowley's mentioned, except the main people stay. But dude, we got to talk about Vernon. We got to talk about Colton Dunn as Vernon, because Vernon's he's hilarious. The bit with the cookies. Yeah, the bit with the cookies is so funny to me. When he's like, especially when he says, "You got any milk?" and Perry Shin just goes. And his look of dejection.
I want that to be a GIF that I can send to Jake when we're out of milk, in the fridge.
You need to. That's great. No milk. Because he says this look of dejection on his face is what does it. Afterwards, he's like, "Oh, no milk."
Yeah, I was like, that would be me for sure.
What was the song that he was singing?
Oh, the song is the best. Chicken and biscuits.
Oh my gosh.
I like chicken and biscuits.
And gravy and chicken. Yeah, then
it sounds like something Clark would sing.
Yes, dude. It's such a toddler song.
It's so funny.
I think it's so cute, though. I love it.
That's him. He made that up himself. That's a Colton Dunn.
I believe it, yeah.
Yeah. Colton Dunn just doing it, just improvising.
I love it.
It's so funny, the chicken and biscuit song. We had to talk about some of these kills that happen in the montage, because we see Joe Lynch makes an appearance and has one of my favorite kills of the whole movie, where he gets his jaw ripped off of his face. It's a great kill, right?
It is, yeah. It's fun.
Yeah. There's some great kills in this montage. What do you guys think?
Well,
is that your favorite one of the montage?
Who else is
Sean? The one guy gets his Sean.
Face,
what's his face? Gets his face cut off. Yeah,
he does.
Oh, that's my favorite. I like that one.
Yeah,
and that was
gross.
We missed it.
Gross.
But there was a bit of a interjection of the the universe, the Adam Green universe.
Yes,
because there was a broadcast of what's her name?
It's Emma Bell.
Frozen. Emma Bell
from
she
Frozen.
I'll never go skiing again. Yeah.
Yeah, from Adam Green's Frozen, which we have not watched yet. We have to, because it's a fucking really good one. But yeah, so we get that little interconnectivity as well. Yeah, the face one's really good. His face just gets sliced right off.
The jaw one's really good, but I couldn't help just think the death in the first one, where the face gets pulled apart.
Oh, that's another level. Yeah, it's still untouched, I think.
Yeah, it's
in
so
just
crazy.
Cinema history. It's just still one of the best slasher movie deaths ever.
Yes, straight up King Kong.
Yeah, it's just versus
T-Rex,
T-Rex style. It's fucking great. Yeah, it's great. So the dialogue in the boat is really funny, and then we get to meet our characters. So we have, like I said, we have Vernon, we have Justin, and Reverend Zombie, and Mary Beth, of course, and Uncle Bob. And then we have Avery and Trent, who are used to be a couple. We have Cletus and Chad, then Vernon and John. And so I think our group of characters are pretty good for the little time we spend with them, because they all kind of have interesting little stories, and they're kind of unique personalities, I feel like. What do you guys think?
Yes, I agree. I really like oh man, he's so good at that, of like developing that character, because like when they're talking about like their names and their siblings' names and how they got there, I was like, man, this is really great.
Yeah, because it kind of makes me
like
feel
Cletus. Wow.
Yeah, Cletus is good. Yeah, and he's like, "What's your name, Chad?" Chad,
Yeah, I really liked that little interaction.
My brother's name's Skip. Skip? Oh man, you guys must have got the shit beat out of you.
Yeah, he's like, we did.
We did. Yeah, so they set them all up nicely, and especially like the couple. Their story arc starts in the, in Reverend Zombie's shop, and then moves to throughout the rest of it. Once Victor Crowley starts to appear, and we get some. So let's run through these deaths real fast, because they're just a lot of fun, right? So first, Chad gets his face bashed in with the hatchet. What do you think of that one?
It's brutal.
Man, yeah, when he's like, is this kind of on his mouth? Oh,
yeah.
Just get your teeth busted like that.
Yeah, that one's kind of, I think, the most brutal kill.
It's so brutal, yeah.
Yeah. And then Cletus gets his face chopped up in the propeller. That's a fun one.
That was a good one,
yeah.
Yeah.
I liked how when it like, I don't know how they did it, but when he like pulls his face away from it, and there's just like an eyeball kind of just like hanging in the middle of like an empty face.
Yeah, it's good.
It's all like Demogorgon skin just kind of like hanging.
Sure is. Yeah, sure is. Sure is.
So gross.
Guys, so and then the death of Avery and Trent is fucking next level, guys. One of my favorites. Lydia, really I want to hear your perspective. This is your first time seeing it.
It's so fucked up.
It's so funny, right?
You like that? So you like it better than ice cream?
Dude, when he says, you like it better than Jesus? I don't think that's appropriate.
I don't think it's appropriate. Tell me you like it better than Jesus.
About the same level.
Yeah. Tell me you like it better than baby Jesus. They're about the same level. Everyone's like, tell me you love me. I love you. So funny.
The best part is once he dies and she's like, oh, don't fall asleep on me again.
Yeah, he starts spasming and he's like,
yeah.
And she's like, ooh.
That's so gross.
Funny. Such a good one.
I hated that.
I love that. 10 out of 10. No notes. And then she gets hatcheted in basically the crotch butt area, and then hatcheted in her chest, and the hatchet gets stuck on her fake boob, so he can't pull it out.
Oh my gosh!
It's like, It's a great scene, right? I was wondering how you'd feel about that one, Lydia.
Yeah, it was good. I can't even deny it. It was pretty. That was like the next level scene in this one. I feel like
yes, it was. Yeah,
like pushing the boundaries.
That's pushing the boundaries. It's pretty fucked up, but hilarious. Yeah. and what do you think of Lydia? What did you think of the double chainsaw?
Double chainsaw. Oh yes,
the giant chainsaw.
I was like literally like off my seat. Like I was like, oh my god.
Got two of them.
I did not expect that. I was like, okay, he's gonna get this one and then this one. And I was wrong.
Nope, got them both. And it's great too because the way they lift up and then saw in half is.
Imagine how hard that would be.
Yeah.
To lift two people with something like that.
Yeah, they had him on a rig to lift him up, and then then of course the cut. But they tried to prank Adam, but he didn't fall for it. They had him like on the rig for some reason. They asked him to do it, and he knew they were going to strand him up there, and call lunch and just leave him stranded so he didn't fall for the trick. He's like, I know your tricks. He's like, Mr. Zadir, I know your tricks.
Nice.
And then, so we got to talk about these next kills, because we have Justin's kill in the so we get to the the house where everything's going down, and we get the kill of we get these level of kills. So Reverend Zombie at this point has deduced in his mind, he thinks that if he can have the people that killed Victor Crowley there, Crowley can exact his revenge and will disappear from Honey Island Swamp.
Yeah.
So he's basically going to sacrifice the two characters, the Uncle Bob, and he's going to what's the other guy's name? Leighton, I think. I'm going to sacrifice them to Victor Crowley. So Victor attacks Justin in the closet. There's a great scene where he's like hides in the closet and he's afraid because there's spiders.
Yep.
So he's shining the light and he shines it up and Victor Crowley's face pops out of the darkness. And then he throws him through the closet. What do you guys think of this sequence with Justin, and especially his death? What do you think of it?
I think it's good. I like the lighting in this scene a lot. And yeah, the spiders are super creepy. Except that spider
that one on his leg. Yeah, that one on his arm.
I was like, I'm pretty sure I have that spider.
Yeah.
But other than that, I thought it. I mean, like, that's the tone of the movie. It's like funny.
Yeah.
Like, just, like the thought of it is there for sure. And then like when you see the face, like the lighting is so good, and it's like you see all the details of all the scars and the tumors and whatever is going on.
Yeah.
But I also like that what is she doing? Because she's like,
she leaves.
He's watching her.
Well, she leaves. Well, Mary Beth leaves to go try to save Uncle Bob because he tells her.
Oh, okay.
He tells her that Reverend Zombie's going to basically sacrifice him. So she goes to save him. He locks the door behind her so nobody can get in. So he's stuck in that room. He's trapped in that room. And that's when we get the Justin's death with the gas sander.
Oh yeah,
sander.
I have to say I appreciated the like closet doors, like when he like explodes out of them and they just like go fly. And I was like, that looks awesome.
Always looks great. Yeah.
And then I actually had to look away at this part of his death.
Oh, you couldn't do it?
I was like, I couldn't do it. I was like, no.
Did anybody else have like Freddy Krueger in their ear being like, "Oh, what's on your mind?"
Oh,
anyway.
No,
but Victor doesn't talk, so.
Yeah, but
if you were going to drop one-liners, that would have been the place to do it. But anyway.
Yep.
If Victor could talk,
he
would sound like that for sure.
Yeah. You sound like Discount Freddy. It'd be great.
Discount Freddy, yeah.
No, I love the effect of when you see his brain and his skull right there before he slams it in there and splatters the brains everywhere. Good stuff.
It is good stuff.
Good stuff. And then we get one of the other best kills in the movie when he fights with Leighton. And they have like this drag out fight. And he ends up breaking his leg and then putting his head on the table and decapitating him from here up.
Like a curb stomp, but...
Yeah, curb stomping. Yeah.
I like that. And I liked how the top half of his head was still on the table, like blinking.
Blinking? Yes. That's the best.
Yeah,
the blinking hit. Yeah, it's good. You like that one, Derek?
Mm-hmm.
That was a good one.
Uncle Bob, head above the rest.
He got a mouthful on that one. So Uncle Bob's death is off camera, and there's a reason that it's off camera. Adam Green just could not bring himself to kill Tom Holland on screen. Which I get. I didn't want to see him die either. Uncle Bob's is such a nice guy. Like, he loves her like a daughter. And then, the twist comes out that it's not really his uncle, which is actually given away at the very beginning of the movie, if you pay attention. She said, he says, dad's been my best friend all my life. And so Reverend Zombie's thinking that he's going to end this, but he just sacrificed some poor innocent guy for no reason. What'd you think of that bit?
The twist?
Yeah.
I mean, I thought it was good. I love that she could come back at him because he's thinking he got like one up on everybody, and he's this mastermind. And she's like, "Huh, you're the one who's stupid. That's not my real uncle. My real uncle died of leukemia. That's
when I was 12.
My brother or my dad's best friend." And he's like, "Oh shit."
Yeah, he's fucked after that point.
I don't know why he just sounded like Van Damme. Oh shit.
Yeah, he became Van Damme. Oh no.
I fight with one style.
No. You taught me not to fight. Yeah, you taught me not to fight with one style. To keep an open mind. We went Van Damme. Sorry, Lydia. What do you think of this plot point?
It was pretty good. Yeah, I like her attitude toward, like she's like, yeah, she gets like rub it in his face, and that's so like gratifying.
Yeah. Because Reverend Zombie's just been.
It's not even gonna work.
Yeah, because he's been just fucking everybody, and so it's like, it's time for you to pay. And then the shot of Victor Crowley standing there with the hatchet is fucking epic. It's a great shot, and ready to like fuck shit up. I love how Reverend Zombie just thinks he's going to fight him. Okay.
Yeah, he goes he tries to choke him.
Yeah. What do you think of his death, Lydia?
Let's see what happened to him. I can't remember now.
So he gets chopped in half with the hatchet.
That's right. He just starts hacking into his side.
Yeah.
He like pulls him out
good.
of his
Then he grabs his spine and he
that's right.
skins him.
Yep. How could I forget that?
Yeah, that's an epic one. That's like a fucking...
My memory is so terrible.
Yeah,
I always forget the end of movies for some reason.
Yeah, you don't want him to end.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. That was crazy. Yeah, I was like, finish him.
Yeah, that was definitely a fatality.
It's kind of like a
Mortal Kombat fatality. You're right, yeah.
Dude,
it's a good one.
And that makeup job was fantastic. It was so nasty.
Yeah. Especially how he blinks once, like, what's going on?
Looks around. Ugh.
Yeah. And then he just throws his half throws him into like some tree.
The bush.
Bushes. Done with you now. So he's suffering over there, skinless, dying.
He's fine.
He's fine, guys. The ending of this movie, guys. What do you think of this ending, Lydia? In the demise of Victor Crowley for the time being.
Remind me.
Do you forget it again? Oh my god!
I don't know why I'm like blanking on the end of the movie.
Yeah. So she smashes, like, cuts his face completely apart with the hatchet.
With an axe, yeah.
Okay.
She just keeps going with the axe. Just keeps going until his just face is caved in and mush. And then she walks away, and we think, because then we get close up of his hand and it starts to move. Then she appears with the shotgun and says, "Fuck you," and blows his head apart, and we just smash cut.
Okay, yeah. It's pretty good.
Yeah, another one of those abrupt just cut endings.
Yeah, I do remember, his hand moving, and you're like, oh no, he's gonna come back. And she's like, not today, Muckalaka.
Not right now. Boom!
Double tap, B.
Yes.
Yeah, she definitely double tapped him. Yeah. And that's
I like how we both like censored ourselves.
Yeah. Double tap that A.
Yeah, B.
If it's good enough, you're going to triple tap it. You know what I'm saying?
What?
What?
Lydia picked up what I was putting down.
SMH.
Shake my head. So, yeah, that's Hatchet too. There's. Did you guys see Adam Green? You saw Adam, right?
Yeah, at the beginning, vomiting.
The very beginning, puking his guts out.
Yes.
Yep.
Because remember, since you watched the first one, you saw him at Mardi Gras, and then we get to see him, and he decided not to go with his friends on the swamp tour, and he lives.
Yeah. So he survived. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Pretty awesome. I had to tell Jake that too. He was impressed.
What you guys? What do you think of the opening? I always like the Hatchet openings. They play like some heavy metal with like just the cuts of the swamp and stuff.
Yeah.
It like definitely
is
a vibe.
It is, but it's a good one.
This is exactly how it played out. I put it on and we're sitting there like jamming to the music, and Jake was like, "It's no wonder Jamie loves this movie," and I was like, Jamie practically is Adam Green, and and he was and then Adam Green shows up on the screen, and I was like, "Oh, speak of the devil," and he was like, "That's Adam Green," and I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "He's throwing up." It's like, yeah, he's hungover. It's a Mardi Gras.
Yeah, you're like, you should have watched the first movie with me, Jake. You wouldn't be asking these questions.
Yeah, exactly.
Classic.
All my questions were answered. Thank goodness I watched the first one.
Yeah, because then you wouldn't be like, so what's going on again?
Wait a minute. Yeah.
Why is she in the water? Because now you remember, oh, he just pulls her under. Or he freaking not pulls her under, pulls her out with Joel David Moore's hand. That's a great ending in the first one, too. And that is Hatchet 2. What do you guys think? What do you want to do? Don't all speak at once. You ready to rate this thing? You want to rate it? Yeah.
Let's see here.
I'm trying to think. I feel like there was something I was.
Do you want to know what your ratings were the last time?
No, I know.
Yeah, I was going to ask that too.
Yeah. Oh,
I need to know.
9. You gave it a 9.
I rated.
You gave the first one.
You gave it a 9. A 9.
I gave it a 9?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I think I did too.
You did.
Yeah.
9er. That's dumb.
Interesting. Good job.
Okay, so my instinct on rating this one is to rate it an 8.
Okay.
Because watching the first one, I was like, and then watching the second one, I was like, I think I did like the first one a little bit better. I don't know. Do you guys think that's accurate, or am I crazy?
If that's what you want,
whatever you want.
After talking to you guys about it, I was like, yeah, this movie is awesome.
Yeah, it's definitely awesome. Yeah. 8's a good rating.
But my instinct after watching them, I was like, I just had a feeling that I was like, I think I like the first one better. So I'm going to give this one an 8. But
Derek,
I couldn't tell you why
think?
Exactly. It might have been that one kill was so good.
Yeah. Now, Miss Pomato's kill is still untouched. Yeah, it's a great
one. So I liked the backstory. I liked how kind of, and I actually didn't know that if you just watch the first one and then you watch the second one and you have no context to who Adam is or the commentary behind this, you're just like, man, they told him that, the first one did well, so they told him to come up with a backstory for him, which, by the way, killer backstory, like really great. And so that's where my mind went. And I'm like, well, of course you're going to make like her dad, one of the kids who killed him, and all, like, you're going to like do this interconnection. If you do that, I had no idea that he had already pre-planned all that stuff. So it was really brilliant. And yeah, I think one thing that he really does well is the small, like, interpersonal talking, like the dialogue between characters. And then the kills, I mean, the kills are just great. Like, they're super creative, using the environment that he's in, and then there's just some like raw and like feral rage behind it. And anyway, so the movie has a great tone, great lighting, and the humor just tacks it up a little bit. So I'm gonna go a little higher than what Lydia did. I'm gonna go 8.5.
So, I really like this movie. It's my favorite of the Hatchet series, I think. Victor Crowley kind of creeps up a little bit, and Hatchet 3 does as well sometimes, but this is my personal favorite of the 3, I think, or of the 4. And so I'm going to give it a 9.5. I like it because I like it more because I think it's it's funnier than the first one. I think it looks better than the first one. I think that the kills are just bigger, except for Mrs. Pomato's kill. That's still another level, of course. The face rip is another level. Just palming it. But so that's another one. But other than that, I think that the kills are better in this one because we get the skinned kill, we get the jaw rip kill, we get the sex kill, we get the double chainsaws, get the sander. So yeah, I just like it a little better. I like Danielle Harris as Mary Beth Dunstan. And I actually like her performance even more in the third one, but I just don't think the movie's as good. It's fun still. We'll talk about it when we get there. But yeah, 9.5 for me.
Nice.
Yeah, you see, you can see why these movies are kind of what, as far as why I like them, they're kind of what we make to a degree. Maybe not as gory, obviously. If we had the budget, maybe. But it's just the tone it's a fun watch. I don't think if you're a fan of these kind of movies and you watch this, you'll be in a bad mood afterwards. It's just, you're like, that was a fun time. And that is Hatchet 2. Good job, Adam. It's a great one. All right. Now it's time to make this movie a 10 in all of our eyes and see if we can Atkinize it. Who would Tom Atkins play?
Thrill me.
Uncle Bob.
Yes, Uncle Bob. Yeah.
Yep, you're right.
Yeah, Uncle Bob. I agree. I like Tom Holland. Love him, of course, but yeah,
For
Uncle
sure.
Bob.
Yeah.
But Uncle Bob. Yeah.
He would be perfect in that role.
Yeah, he would. He'd actually also be good at as the old boy getting it on. But yeah, Uncle Bob, he would nail that, I think. All right, Lydia.
Well, he's also the one role, like, acting-wise, that would have, like, strengthened the thing,
for sure. Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Lydia.
Do you want
it's
a drum
your
roll?
Pick. What are we watching next week?
Okay, Talk to me.
We are.
What do you want me to
watching?
say?
Well, yeah, what do you want us to do?
We're going to watch Talk to Me.
Okay.
Directed by...
I have not seen Talk to Me yet. It is
good. I've just honestly I picked it because I've been wanting to watch a new movie lately, and I just haven't had time to like catch up on new things,
Yeah.
So I was like, let's go with a fresh one, and I think this is going to be a scary one. So
I hear it's scary. Let's give it a shot. Talk to Me is not streaming on any streaming service, but you can rent it from YouTube, Google Play, Apple TV, Fandango at home, and Amazon Prime. So next week, get that ready so we can talk about Talk to Me. Derek, do you have a story for us today? Oh, you're muted. You almost made it the whole episode.
Oh.
Idiot.
First off, I was typing on my keyboard. I was trying to be courteous to you guys because it's really loud, so...
Do you have a story for us?
I had not pre-thought of one.
Oh,
it's been a busy week.
It's almost like I ask you
Lydia,
every week.
Your turn to pick.
I know it, but it's been a busy week, man. Busy week.
It has.
And it's not like I forgot to get the horror news or anything like that. So.
Oh.
Hey, sorry. I spent the whole evening getting things ready for our feature film. My bad.
Oh man. A good story. Man, and I'm also tired, so like my mind is like not functioning well.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of one as a backup for you.
Lydia, do you have any awesome stories?
Talk Don't try to put me on the spot.
No. I'm just saying, you've got to have more material than we do at this point. Like, people know our backstory. They could probably guess some of our passwords at this point.
That's true, yeah.
I'm trying to think of one. I almost had one.
I could tell you guys about the time I almost died.
Ooh. All right.
Really?
Yeah, it was real scary.
Wait, do we want to talk about near-death experiences now?
I think it's when I jumped to a parallel universe.
Oh my god.
Are you just making a story up now because you?
No, like I've got two. There are two things that have happened to me that were kind of like near. So one, okay, so not that I subscribe to this, but it's a super interesting genre online to listen to stories about people who were in a situation where they could have died and then jumped to a parallel. I don't think that happened to me, but either way, so I did almost die one time. So this is probably the most inappropriate thing to talk about on the podcast, but here we are. So I was working nights at American Stationery in our hometown, and so I'd stayed up all night, and I was up all day the day before, and I'm like, man, I want to go see my grandma. So I drove an hour and 20 minutes to go see her, and then she was at work, so I couldn't see her. It was just one of the spur of the moment things. I wasn't really tired at that moment, so I was like, yeah, I could do this instead. So I did that. Man, on the way back, it was in January, February, sometime like that. So it was a warm winter day. The windows were up. I was driving on this backcountry road, man, and it was warm in the car, and I just drifted off to sleep. And I woke up going off the road. I went literally between these two giant trees on somebody's farm, and I slid sideways and took out their fence. And I was like, and I remember when I woke up, I thought I was going to die, man. I woke up and I'm like, Mom, I'm sorry, Mama. I just kept saying, Mom, I'm sorry, because I was in her car. She went to work, and we worked at the same place, so I just took her car. And I was like, Mom, I'm sorry, Mom, I'm sorry. And I took out the farmer's fence and then tried to leave. And then I got stuck.
Classic.
And then the farmer totally called me out on it. He was like, oh, are you going to leave? I was like, oh, no, I was just trying to get back on the road so I could pull into your driveway. He's like, okay. So anyway, wow. Yeah. And the farmer's grandson was a real douchebag. I knew him, but that guy was okay. And his wife was really nice. But their grandson, he's an asshole. So,
well, that makes the fence bashing not so bad.
No, I mean, it's still bad. They were really nice.
I had a similar experience. We had a gig one night when back in my younger days, I was in a rock and roll band, still play. But we had a gig one night, and after the gig, I was with my bass player, Andrew, and we dropped off Justin. We dropped off Nick already. We dropped off Justin at his house. I remember vividly because we're like, hey, drop Justin off. It's 2 in the morning, 2, 3 in the morning. And Andrew and I were wired from the gig. We just had, we just played. We rocked. We felt good. Yeah. He's like, you ready to go home? I was like, nah, man, I'm up. He's like, you want to go to Kokomo? I was like, yeah, sure. So we get in the car, we're in his car, and we start driving down 31 towards Kokomo. And it's a warm day. It's a regular warm day. It's a summer, but we're driving. And I just remember dozing off like this. You know what I mean? I just remember I could feel myself dozing. And I'm asleep for maybe, I don't know, a couple seconds, I feel like. I wake up, and I'm like, oh, wake up with the start. And I remember looking over at Andrew, and he's asleep. And I look forward, and the car is veering off the road, off the highway into the median. And I went, ah! And Andrew yelled, ah! We both woke up, grabbed the wheel and pulled it, and like pulled off to the shoulder, and we sat there, and like we sat there for a couple seconds. We're like, we look at each other. We're like, oh my god, yeah. He's like, do you think maybe we should go home? I was like, yeah. We made it as far as Bennett Switch. That's as far as we made it, and we turn around at that McClure. We're like, turn around. So then the entire way back, we have music blaring and the windows down. We're like, not going to fall asleep, are you? I was like, no. I was like, I can't fall back asleep. My adrenaline is like, because I literally woke up.
I hate driving tired.
Yeah, I woke up and I could literally just see, I literally looked over at him and he was like this. Because I saw that we're kind of going this way. And I looked over at him and he's like this. And then we go, I'm like, ah!
Dang.
Yeah. So don't drive tired is what we're telling you out there in YouTube land. Get some Z's. Catch some Z's before that.
Yes, dude. I hate driving tired so much.
Yeah, me too.
I've done it so many times. I hate it.
You know what I kind of like, though? Is riding in the passenger seat tired. I kind of like car naps.
I don't remember what that's
Dude,
like.
If I'm not driving, there's a 50% chance I will fall asleep.
Yeah.
I almost did it today when we were going to dinner. I was like, oh, Quincy's driving.
We did a great job of not falling asleep on our giant drive to New York, Derek.
Oh, yeah. Well, when I'm driving, like, okay, I mean, I've had that one time and a couple of times where I'm like, you know, I'm real tired and I'm driving home and I'm like having to punch my leg or something like that. But, you know, like that one time scared the bejesus out of me.
Yeah, we did. We did really good. We didn't even like start to doze off because we just, you know, we're making a movie the entire time, basically working on the movie and such. But we're just like, once we got to the hotel, we immediately crashed, though. That's for sure. Because it's like, oh my god. Driving's exhausting.
Super tired. It's usually when it's like 2 or 3 in the morning, and you're like, "Why am I driving right now?
Why am I out?" Yeah. What is wrong with me?
We went to Cincinnati, and I drove back. Like I think we came back pretty late, and it was just like, ugh. I was like, I'm never doing that again. I'm over it.
Well, you know, and
I didn't fall asleep, but I was like literally like smacking my face like to stay awake. My eyes did not want to stay open.
Yeah, I feel you there. Yeah, I'm
like
there.
Shaking my head.
Shaking your head.
Well, we live in a time. Yeah, we live in a time now, like when our kids are old enough to drive, like self-driving cars are going to be like right on the verge, if not have already been, you know, and those things are going to be super expensive. But all of like the safety technology out right now is just, it makes me feel a little bit easier about having kids and them being idiots and getting out and driving and stuff like that anyway.
Yeah, I liked how this became an auto.
That's scary. Things you can't control.
Car podcast at the end.
I can't tell if Amy's frozen or...
I think
I said I like.
For a minute.
I said I like how this became a car podcast at the end. Driving tired PSA.
Hey, this is a us podcast. We can go any direction we want.
We can go anywhere. We go on tangents. What we do. So, guys,
metal figurines.
That's just okay.
How do you keep doing that?
It's just solder.
So, next week, talk to me. We have some. We'll have some updates next week on the movie because we should be about to shoot at that point. So we'll give a cast list and all that good stuff to you. So that'll be on the way. That's really exciting. Also, you can follow us on all the socials. So follow us. You can follow Lydia at Lydia Spooky. You can follow Derek at Derek Lee Master and me at Racket on the Twitter machine. You can find us online at HiLaProductions.com. You can also find us on Facebook at HiLa Productions. And you can also find us on Instagram at Scream Bloody Movies. Next week, talk to me. So get your spookies out for that. And next week, we will also have you an update on the flick. Comment down below on what your favorite kill of Hatchet 2 is. And also tell us if you guys have had any near-death experiences. Put them right down there. that'll flow into next week. We'll talk about them next week for Talk to Me. So think about that. So if there's nothing else for Derek Lemaster and Lydia Judy, I'm Jamie Hiles. And remember, guys, if you're going to scream bloody movies.